Hey collectors, welcome back to my channel, Duncan the Collector, and welcome to another review. Today we are reviewing the Jurassic World Dino-Escape, Roar Attack, Allosaurus, and Uranosaurus. These girls look awesome, but before we unbox them, let's take a look at their packaging. Both figures have the same packaging with different diagrams, with the Allosaurus' 3 levels of sound feature making her jaws open wider and wider, and the Uranosaurus making her head go up and then attacking down. Let's look at the back of their boxes. They both have the same diagram, and then they both have a full body render. Now, let's get them both out of the box. Now that we have the Allosaurus out of the box and her tail connected, she looks awesome. I'm so glad to have her. And for those who didn't know, Allosaurus is my favorite dinosaur. As always, let's look at her paint job. The Allosaurus has crazy colors. She definitely wouldn't win the award for best camouflage. She is primarily cast in a dark pine green. She has white and burgundy details on her back, neck, and head. She has a very light green underbelly on her lower jaw and neck. Her teeth have a yellow tint, and her jaw membrane and tongue are cast in a dark pink. Her eyes are pretty nicely done, being maroon with the green color being used for her pupil. I think her arms look kind of strange though. It looks like she accidentally dropped her keys into a pail of white paint.
Damn it!
They really stand out, and I wish Mattel tied the arms in with the rest of the body better. Another thing that bothers me with this figure is the total lack of painted nails. I wish Mattel would start painting the nails again. Other than that, I really enjoy this figure's paint. I think she's really unique, and it's great that Mattel is trying new things. Now, let's look at her sculpt. The Allosaurus has tons of awesome scaling and deep detailing throughout her entire body. This Allosaurus has lots of visible scars on her body, which looks really good. Her back spikes look super cool and make her look very threatening. Her legs are great with lots of detailing and great muscle mass. Her legs have been remodeled so this Allosaurus can stand and won't instantly fall over, like the last two Allos did. Her toe scoots look nice, and the bottom of her feet look nicely worn and quite realistic. And there's the code for the Jurassic Facts app if you'd like it. Her arms are also nicely detailed with great muscle mass and more scoots on her fingers. The owl has lots of nice creasing details on her lower neck. And the head is my absolute favorite part of this figure. She has tons of awesome details with lots of scales and spikes. Her crest is large and bony, her teeth are nicely defined, and her tongue is nicely textured and bumpy. Overall, this figure has an amazing sculpt. Now, let's look at her articulation and action. The tail has a pretty good range of movement, and her legs can pump in and out, and they can fully rotate as well. Same with the arms. Both her upper and lower jaws can open really wide, but won't stay open as they are tied to the action.
Yum.
With all Roar Attack figures, they have a 3 levels of sound feature. All you have to do is push this tab on her back. If you push it once, you get a throaty growl and her jaw slightly opens. Push it again, and her jaw continues to open and she has a big roar. If you push it for the last time, she has a massive roar and her jaws open super wide. It's interesting they decided to use Indominus Rex and Spinosaurus sounds instead of her own unique sounds. Other than that, and the really obvious switch, I really like the 3-level feature. Now, let's look at the Uranosaurus. This figure looks awesome and very unique. Let's start by looking at her paint job. The Uranosaurus is primarily cast in an olive green. She has a yellow pattern on her back that kind of looks like lightning. She has an orange and yellow underbelly which starts on her chin and goes down to the end of her body. Her eyes are very beady, being a brownish red with a tiny green pupil. Her bill is painted in this really nice teal color. The paint deco looks great, but this figure could have used some additional paint on the tail and again the nails. But overall, this figure looks fantastic. Now, let's look at her sculpt. The Uranosaurus has lots of nice texturing throughout her body. Her body has tons of deep defined detail and great bone structure. Her sail has great detail, with the bone being visible under the skin and it running down to the end of her tail. Her legs and feet are nicely detailed and her toe scoots look pretty good and have nice definition. The bottom of her feet have nice texturing and make them look very worn. And there's the code for the Jurassic Facts app if you'd like it. Her neck and shoulders are very muscular, and her head looks great with visible ear canals and nasal cavities. Her bone structure looks great, and her bill is really interesting. She has a really peaceful face, unlike how she was portrayed in Camp Cretaceous, as she tried to murder the children. Now, let's look at her articulation and action. The Uranosaurus' tail has a pretty good range of movement and can fully rotate. Her legs have a really good range of movement, more like a theropod than any other quadruped dinosaur, with her front arms being on a ball joint rather than a swivel. This way, she can run through the forest pretending she's an airplane. Her neck can move up and down, but won't stay in place as it's tied to the action feature. Her head has an okay range of movement, being able to move up and down, but less so left and right. Now, let's look at her action. If you push the tab once, she lifts her head up slightly and she has a growl. Push it again, and she lifts her head back all the way and has a big roar. On the last push, she has a massive roar and her head strikes down for murdering children. Based on the floor around her water dish, I think this might be how my dog Cheetah drinks. Now here are my final thoughts. I think these are awesome figures and I would highly recommend them. The Allosaurus has a cool new deco and can finally stand. This figure is also great for photos as her mouth isn't always gaping like a mouth breather.
Hey.
The Uranosaurus is a very unique dinosaur with her oddly shaped sail and crested bill. I'm really glad Mattel made this figure as they haven't really made any duck-billed dinosaurs. I really like this 3 levels of sound feature on this entire line, but I wish they could make it a little less conspicuous, especially on the Uranosaurus. It might be hard to use, but it'd be cool if they could put it under the bodies. But overall, I think these are great figures, and I would definitely recommend them. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and if you didn't, hit the dislike and unsubscribe buttons. If you like toy photography or pictures of Cheddar the cat and Cheetah the dog, follow me on Instagram. If you'd like to see your collection featured in one of my videos, hit me up on Instagram or message me in the comments down below. Now before I go, I wanted to mention something exciting and important. Mark Rober and Mr. Beast have teamed up again like they did for Team Trees and Team Seas. For every $1 donated, they will remove 1 pound of trash from the ocean with a goal of 30 million pounds. My family and I have removed 250 pounds ourselves. Check out the link to Mark's video on how he plans to help clean the ocean and how you can help too. Well, I guess that's it for now. Thanks for watching and have fun collecting!